Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Jenny Jackson and I'm here from Doubleday to introduce one of our very favorite authors, Helen Ellis. She's the New York Times bestselling author of the short story collection American Housewife. The New York Times has compared Helen Ellis to Flannery O'Connor. Elle magazine has compared her to Amy Sedaris and Margaret Atwood. But honestly, I just compare her to one of those little cans of cocktail nuts that you open and a springy snake jumps out. Because Helen Ellis is a human glitter bomb. She has this sleek brown bob and she has this beautiful blouse with a bow on it and a Chanel handbag, but she has a sense of humor that is so acidic you could descale a humidifier with it. She has themed Christmas parties, she vacuums, she posts pictures of her cats, and then she goes down to Vegas and competes in the World Series of Poker. I like to say that Helen Ellis is a riddle wrapped in an enigma wrapped in bacon. Getting to know Helen has honestly been one of the most fun parts of my job, and I feel like the best way for me to share this woman with you is to let her talk to you about her new essay collection. So, Helen Ellis.
Before Helen starts, we're just going to give her a little presentation because she is one of our favorite authors. I know we're not supposed to have favorites.
Yes, you are.
And Kelly picked this out. It's a beautiful teacup, and if you can read it, it says...
Rosé.
Rosé.
I'm going to drink a little champagne cocktail out of it later.
That's what we figured. That's what it's intended for.
Okay. Do I need to lean in or can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hi, librarians. So my name is Helen Ellis, and I have the reputation of living what Marie Kondo would call a magically tidy life. My tights are rolled like sushi. My tabletops are bare. My kitchen is so clean you could perform surgery in it. But when I was 23, I left my New York City apartment with a panty liner stuck to my back. Yes, it was used. Yes, earlier that day I'd taken it off and tossed it onto my twin bed like a bear throws salmon bones onto a rock. Once it was there, I guess I forgot about it. It was probably camouflaged. I promise you, there was other stuff on the bed. My bed used to look like a landfill. So maybe I threw my coat over and it stuck. And then I put my coat back on and rode a bus 30 blocks with a panty liner between my shoulder blades. No, nobody said a word about it. I did not know it was there until my date gave me a hug and peeled it off like he was at a burlesque show in hell. This was not the man I married. The man I married walked into my apartment and found Pop-Tart crusts on my couch. I can still see his face, bewildered and big-eyed, pointing at them as if to ask, "Do you see them too?" I shrugged. He sat on the sofa. It is my husband's nature to accept me the way that I am. My nature is to leave every cabinet and drawer open like a burglar. My superpower is balancing the most stuff on a bathroom sink. If I had my druthers, I'd let cat puke dry on the carpet because it's easier to scrape up. If druthers were things and I had a coupon for druthers, I'd stockpile them like Jell-O because, you never know when you might need some druthers. My husband fell in love with a creative woman. Creative is Southern lady code for slob. See, that's Southern lady code, a technique by which if you don't have something nice to say, you say something not so nice in a nice way. Like creative for slob, which is what I use to refer to myself and be nice to myself in the essay, Making a Marriage Magically Tidy. This essay about how I became a dominatrix Donna Reed is the first of 23 essays in Southern Lady Code, the book, coming from Doubleday on April 16th. It's about marriage and manners, mammograms and murder, ghosts and gay men. And woven into each piece is a little Southern lady code that I'll help you crack. Because even though I've lived in Manhattan for 25 years, I was raised in Alabama and speak Southern lady code fluently. For example, she's a character means drunk. Or he's an archivist means hoarder. And let's all raise a glass to the mother of all Southern expressions, bless your heart, which can mean anything from thank you to forget you, to, well, you tried, didn't you? To, wow, you're an idiot. But to me, bless your heart, has always been a Southern lady's yo mama. Think about it. No compliment has ever followed your mama. You know, yo mama's so Southern, she wears deviled eggs as pasties. Or, bless your heart, you save all your poops for the library. I wrote all my essays at the library. I've been a patron of the New York City public library system since I was 22, and I can list branches like other women list lovers. Webster, Donnell, Stephen A. Schwartzman. I get around. But to write my new book, I committed myself to a library made from a townhouse on 79th and Madison, the New York Society Library, where the 5th floor is reserved for writers, and there are also 6 private rooms for writers to reserve. But I don't write on the 5th floor with all the other writers. I write in the stacks with all of the books. If you visit this library and find yourself in stack 6 searching for Judith Krantz's Scruples, you will find me sitting in a small desk under a small desk lamp writing about thank you notes and 3 ways. A friend found me in this spot, isolated and surrounded by noise-canceling hardbacks, and asked, "Aren't you worried about being mugged?" "No," I said, "I'm worried about ghosts." Being raised that I can see ghosts is something I write about in Southern Lady Code. In the essay, The Ghost Experience, I explain that my family's attitude towards ghosts is the same we have towards hornet's nest and noisy hotel neighbors. You don't bother them, and they won't bother you in a greater way than they are already bothering you. If you have a ghost scampering across your hardwood floors and waking you up every night, what you do is install wall-to-wall carpeting. You don't move, you make do. That's just good manners. And my mama raised me to be polite in extreme situations. In the essay, An Emily Post for the Apocalypse, I write about mama's etiquette for the insane. Helen Michelle, that man rocks outside the Winn-Dixie because he is crazy, but we still wave at crazy people when they wave at us. Etiquette for son-in-laws. Helen Michelle, when your husband calls me, please have him start with, "Hi, everything's fine. I'm just calling for fill in the blank. Otherwise, I'll assume he's calling to tell me that you've been kidnapped and sold into sex slavery." And etiquette for hospital visits. Helen Michelle, after your grandmother, your husband's grandmother, has her leg amputated, don't sit in the flat spot where her leg used to be. Speaking of being considerate, in the essay Straighten Up and Fly Right, I write about how I am the best person for you to sit beside on an airplane. Because if we're about to crash, my husband has given me permission to cheat, and you will die with my lips pressed against yours. In Party Foul, I write about how my father faked his own death for my 13th birthday party. In Peggy Sue Got Marijuana, I write about trying pot in my 40s. I write about my dumb boobs and how I watch pornography like a lady. And I write about aging, specifically 7 things I'm doing instead of a neck lift. Thing number 2 is camera angling. When posing for a picture, this gentleman can attest, I no longer say cheese, I say higher. I instruct the picture taker to hold the camera like a piñata. If he doesn't follow my instructions, I scream them, "Higher, higher!" Hold the camera like a piñata. If I want to be sophisticated, I'll say, hold the camera like a chandelier. Because my best angle is that taken by a hovering drone. Google me, and you'll think I've been under constant NSA surveillance. But you know what's great about getting older? you're gleefully opinionated. In the essay, Young Ladies, Listen to Me, I advised Generation Z, if you don't know what to do with the rest of your life, make your bed. If you're gonna be a couch potato, fluff the pillows. If you can't afford pearls, red nail polish is your best accessory. If you don't have time to do your nails, smile and stand up straight. And you know what else is great about getting older? You're dementedly optimistic. In the essay, Today Was a Good Day, I thank the Lord every morning I wake up and there is not a clown in my closet. And the very best part about getting older is you're ballsier than a Chuck E. Cheese rubber ball pit. Just this month, with the encouragement and help of Penguin Random House, I got up the nerve to start recording Southern Lady Code, the podcast, which is 6 minutes of me diving deep into my favorite Southern expressions and then telling you something I find enjoyable, like radish mice or velour housecoats. And before that, with the encouragement and help of my editor, Jenny Jackson, and the Doubleday Gang, I got up the nerve to write Southern Lady Code, the book. I'd never written nonfiction before, so to tell my truths, I came up with a Southern Lady Code of conduct for myself. Be honest, be funny, be nice. In Serious Women, I write about how a murder trial made me a better friend. In A Room of One's Own that's full of gay men, I write about how my safe place is a room of men with nothing to hide. In Free to Be You and Me and Child Free, I write about how one of the nicest surprises of my life is my husband and my decision not to have children. And in That Kind of Woman, I celebrate the kind of lady that I grew up to be. For example, I am the kind of lady who is frequently mistaken for a librarian. And that makes me very happy because I love librarians. Librarians have always been there for me. You've opened your doors and opened my mind. You've given me the space to create, and today I stand before you with what I've created. I wrote Southern Lady Code for women, ages 13 and up, but men are welcome to read it too. Because my every essay is a love letter, some to my husband, some to my family and friends, some to myself. But all of them are for you, because I'm a romantic. A romantic is Southern Lady Code for a woman who dabs a dot of Chanel No. 5 behind each ear, leans in, and lets you in on what before this she's only told her nearest and dearest. Today I've shared some of the funny bits, but each has a secret and a part of my heart. Thank you.